Welcome, MHES families. This is a very strange time indeed. We are doing this live. Never done it before. We've got a little bit of support in the background, and I've got my lovely vice principal here to help me with it. So welcome to our virtual live streaming kindergarten information evening. I am your host, Principal Pete Burgess, and I am with my like I said, my vice principal, Denise St. Jules. We are really excited. You probably can tell I'm also really nervous because I've never live streamed before, but welcome. We would like to start off by saying we are thrilled to have your children here. As you know, kindergarten is a really special time. It's a very nerve-wracking time for parents, but I think if you think back, you always remember your very first teacher, your kindergarten teacher. I remember mine, Mrs. Earl, and it was amazing time. So we're thankful that we're here to start you off on your child's educational journey. I know some of you have had kids come through already and might even still be here. And I know there's a lot of new people too. So we'd like to welcome all of you. I am going to share my screen right now. So we'd like to welcome you to kindergarten for September 2021. We'd like to do our land acknowledgement. So acknowledgement of Algonquin territory. We acknowledge that our learning is taking place on unceded and unsurrendered Algonquin territory. We thank the Algonquin Nation for hosting us and recognize their enduring presence on this land. What we will talk about today. So we are going to first have a wonderful message from our Director of Education. We will talk about our school community, the kindergarten program, our extended day program here, transportation, getting ready for kindergarten, our program options, our family reception center, and some dates for you to remember. And here we have our message from our director.
Welcome to kindergarten and welcome to the OCDSB. We know that this will be the start of a wonderful educational journey for your child. Our kindergarten teachers and early childhood educators look forward to working with you and your child as we embark together on an exciting 2 years of learning. Our full-day kindergarten program is the launch point to an array of programs that the OCDSB offers. During your child's school presentation, you will hear about the opportunities that your child will have to develop their French language skills. In the kindergarten program, our students receive exposure to both French and English language programming in a 50-50 format. They will have the opportunity to develop a strong foundation in both official languages as they begin their educational journey. You will also hear about the early French immersion program, where starting in grade 1, your child will spend the majority of their day being taught in the French language. Students can also enter French immersion in grade 4 in the middle French immersion program, where 2/3 of their day is taught in the French language. In the English and alternative programs, students receive instruction in English as well as 200 minutes per week of French instruction. This is called Core French. All of these programs are available to all of our students. It is your choice. We look forward to welcoming you to our schools, and don't hesitate to reach out to your child's designated school to learn more. The first day of school in kindergarten is the first day of a wonderful road ahead. Our OCDSB team is eager to welcome you, your child, and your family to our learning community.
All right, thank you very much for that. Now I am just going back to this. Okay. All right, I think we're back on track. All right, so a place for every student. So students are why we are here. So to serve every student, each one of us must be seen, heard, and know that they matter within our OCDSB community. The OCDSB has a strong commitment to human rights, equity, and inclusion. We continue to work together to dismantle barriers to learning and help all students achieve success. With a focus on human rights and equitable practice, the OCDSB is committed to creating a welcoming and safe spaces for all students. Our goal is to meet the unique needs of every child. Our Learning Support Services team is always available to schools to support our early learners. LSTs, psychologists, social workers, speech and language pathologists, as well as educational assistants dedicated to our kindergarten classes are some of the specialists that are available for schools. If you think your child may require some additional learning support, please point this out to the school when you register in order to secure the supports your child needs. Indigenous education support. If you identify as a First Nations, Métis, or Inuit, you may have access to additional supports for your child. The OCDSB has an Indigenous education learning team who you can reach out to for support. The team consists of 2 instructional coaches, 2 student support coordinators, a graduation coach, and a system vice principal. At registration, you can complete the voluntary confidential self-identification. Visit the OCDSB website for details on resources and support, or email the Vice Principal of Indigenous Education for more information. All schools in the OCDSB are grounded in a community of character and exit outcomes. This is the umbrella over everything we do. The Ottawa-Carleton District School Board's A Community of Character is a set of attributes that were discussed and chosen by a myriad of stakeholders. The purpose of these attributes is to provide a standard of behavior against which all individuals in the OCDSB hold themselves accountable. Our character attributes are the stepping stones to building our community of character. At the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, our vision of student success goes beyond the classroom. Our goal is to prepare students to be successful in life. The OCDSB outcomes identify 5 characteristics and 5 skills that we are trying to develop in every student. The work begins in kindergarten, and we hope that by time students graduate, they will move confidently into the world, equipped with a strong academic foundation and the learning skills they need to navigate future pathways, whether that is work, apprenticeship, college, university, or community living. So welcome to our school. As I mentioned, my name is Pete Burgess and I'm the principal. Denise St. Jules is our amazing vice principal. Traditionally, our school holds a kindergarten information in the spring, hosted by all the wonderful kindergarten team in the hopes of providing parents with a window as to what a day in the life of kindergarten looks like, along with information on what students will require in the first week. We don't know at this time what this will look like this spring, as it's normally an in-person event. It usually happens around end of May, beginning of June, where you're invited and you get to meet our team and you get to kind of walk through the classrooms. We don't know what it's going to look like because of the pandemic, so we're still hopeful that we can do so. And if not, we will have to arrange something with our kindergarten team where we have a bit of a virtual thing, much like tonight, except it won't be live streamed. It'll most likely be almost like a Google or Zoom meet. So as the year unfolds, please make sure you check back with us, as we may need to hold this event, like I said, virtually or through a Zoom meeting of some sort. So welcome to kindergarten. A child's learning and development occur in the context of relationships with other children, parents, and other families, educators, and the broader environment. The OCDSB's kindergarten program is a 2-year program. All of our kindergarten classes are combined grade classes, meaning year 1 and year 2, grade JK and SK students are grouped together. All classes engage in learning based on the kindergarten program of 2016, with 50% of their instructional time in English and 50% in French. Considering there is a broad range of development with children at this age, by combining classes together, children are able to develop at their own rate, flowing freely between the expectations of the 2-year program. If a child requires time to reinforce their learning, the 2-year program offers them opportunities to do so. If they require less time to reach proficiency, they can easily move on to more challenging exploration. Play-based learning. So children are full of natural curiosity, and they explore this curiosity through play. In our kindergarten program, teachers and early childhood educators structure play to create learning in moments, making it purposeful. Our kindergarten program provides children with educational activities appropriate for young learners, taking into account their physical, intellectual, social, and emotional needs. Their world is one of curiosity, exploration, and imagination. Children investigate and develop an understanding of their world through play. Educators observe the children's social, emotional, physical, and intellectual interactions within a classroom setting, assessing their stages of development aligned with the curriculum, and supports and encourages experiences to further their growth. Kindergarten is a team approach. Each kindergarten class is led by a team composed of a teacher and an early childhood educator, also known as an ECE. The team works together to plan for and provide meaningful learning opportunities for the children and to create a positive, welcoming, and safe learning environment. On average, classrooms have 26 students, although depending on enrollment, class sizes can range anywhere from approximately 13 to a maximum of 28. This year, the maximum was 29, and by ministry mandate, next year it's going to be 28. Unlike early French immersion, which begins in grade 1, I'm just going to switch to the next slide here. Here we go. This is where we talk a little bit more about the bilingual kindergarten program. Unlike early French immersion, which begins in grade 1, the bilingual kindergarten program is focused on providing our youngest learners with a rich play and inquiry-based experience, facilitated by both English and French educators. Teachers and ECEs implement the program as laid out in their Ontario curriculum, the kindergarten program of 2016. Here we'll talk a little bit about the 4 frames of the kindergarten program. The frames, which are belonging and contributing, self-regulation and well-being, demonstrating literacy and mathematics behaviors, and problem solving and innovating, are designed to support an approach that aligns with the way children's learning naturally occurs and that focuses on aspects of learning that are critical to young children's development. The frames reflected the integrated way in which learning occurs during the children's play and children in kindergarten. The 4 frames align with the 4 foundational conditions needed for children to grow and flourish: belonging, well-being, expression, and engagement. These foundations, or ways of being, are central to the pedagogy outlined in the early learning resource, How Does Learning Happen? They are the conditions that children naturally seek for themselves, and they apply regardless of age, ability, culture, language, geography, or setting. The 4 frames of kindergarten grow out of the 4 foundations for learning and development set out in the early learning curriculum framework. The foundations are essential to children's learning in kindergarten and beyond. The frames encompass areas of learning for which 4 and 5-year-olds are developmentally ready. The 4 kindergarten frames grow out of the 4 foundations for learning and development. The kindergarten frames are defined more specifically to reflect the developmental and learning needs of children in kindergarten and beyond. In regards to belonging and contributing, this frame encompasses children's learning and development with respect to their sense of connectedness to others, their relationship with others, and their contributions as part of a group, a community, and their natural world, their understanding of relationships and community, and of the ways in which people contribute to the world around them. The learning encompassed by this frame also relates to children's early development of the attributes and attitudes that inform citizenship through their sense of personal connectedness to various communities. In regards to self-regulation and well-being, this frame encompasses children's learning and development with respect to their own thinking and feelings, and their recognition of and respect for differences in the thinking of feelings of others, regulating their emotions, adapting to distractions, and assessing consequences of actions in a way that enables them to engage in learning, their physical and mental health and wellness. In connection with this frame, it is important for educators to consider the interrelatedness of children's self-awareness, sense of self, and ability to self-regulate, the role of the learning environment in helping children to be calm, focused, and alert so they are better able to learn. What children learn in connection with this frame allows them to focus, to learn, to respect themselves and others, and to promote well-being in themselves and others. The next frame, which is demonstrating literacy and mathematical behaviors, encompasses children's learning and development with respect to communicating thoughts and feelings through gestures, physical movements, words, symbols, and representations, as well as through the use of a variety of materials. Literacy behaviors evident in the various ways they use language, images, and materials to express and think critically about ideas and emotions as they listen and speak, view and represent, and begin to read and write. Mathematics behaviors evident in the various ways they use concepts of number and pattern during play and inquiry, access, manage, and create and evaluate information, and experience an emergent understanding of mathematical relationships, concepts, skills, and processes. An active engagement learning and a developing love of which can instill the habit of learning for life. What children learn in connection with this frame develops their capacity to think critically, to understand and respect many different perspectives, and to process various kinds of information. And finally, the last frame, which is the problem solving and innovating. This frame encompasses children's learning and development with respect to exploring the world through natural curiosity in ways that engage the mind, the senses, and the body, making meaning of their world by asking questions, testing theories, solving problems, and engaging in creative and in analytical thinking. The innovative ways of thinking about and doing things that arise naturally with an active curiosity and applying those in relationships with others, with materials, and with the environment. The learning encompassed by this frame supports collaborative problem solving and bringing innovative ideas and relationships with others. In connection with this frame, it is important for educators to consider the importance of problem solving in all contexts, not only in the context of mathematics, so that children will develop the habit of applying creative, analytical, and critical thinking skills in all aspects of their lives. What children learn in connection with all four frames lays the foundation for developing traits and attitudes they will need to become active, contributing, responsible citizens, and healthy, engaged individuals who take responsibility for their own and others' well-being. Assessment, evaluation, and reporting. All kindergarten students are assessed for learning on an ongoing basis, and these assessments are used to inform next steps. Assessment and evaluation focuses on growth versus achievement. That means educators support the growth of the child's learning in relation to the knowledge and skills identified in the overall expectations set out in the kindergarten program document. Feedback is provided to students and their parents also on an ongoing basis. Formal assessments in the form of a communication of learning template are completed. An initial observation is provided in the fall, an opportunity for a parent-teacher interview, and a communication of learning provided at the ends of terms 1 and 2, otherwise known as report cards. Exposure versus coverage. Kindergarten teachers ensure that students are exposed to program expectations repeatedly over the course of 2 years. Many of the program expectations are constantly being explored, worked on, developed by students through their independent play, guided interactions with educators, and direct teacher instruction. All right, at this school, we've got our extended day program, which is independently run by the Barhaven Child Care. These third-party operators offer programming before and after school at our school. They do run a little bit differently between the primary difference, I should say, is between the two programs is that they're governed by by different provincial legislation. If you are interested in a third party over here, please don't hesitate to give them a call. I do know as the year progresses, the spots do fill up. So I wouldn't wait too long to get a hold of them if you are looking for daycare before and after school. All right, transportation, which is always a very important subject. So our transportation at our board is run by OSTA, which is the Ontario Student Transportation Authority. They've got a wonderful website that is quite helpful, where you can find where your bus stop finder is going to be, whether there's going to be any school bus delays or cancellations because of weather, empty seat applications, and safety tips. Transportation is available to all kindergarten students who live more than 0.8 kilometers from their school. And please note, if you are going to the extended day program before or after school, they will not provide transportation. So how can you help your child prepare for this new beginning? There are many ways that parents can support their child prior to entering kindergarten to prepare them for learning in a school setting. Ensure that your child has ample opportunity to engage in different types of play. Provide daily physical activities to help develop gross and fine motor skills. Talk and listening to your child. Making sure your child's nutritional needs are being met. Help your child with daily routines such as getting dressed, feeding, toileting, cleaning up after activities, self-regulating their active and quiet playtimes. It's always important to read to your child, preferably daily, selecting a variety of books of different lengths and different subjects, relating the pictures to the story, and this will enhance the language development and stimulates children's curiosity and imagination. Talking and listening to your child about daily activities, what he or she is doing, what you are doing. So strong oral communication skills will become a solid foundation for later academic achievement. Encouraging other adults in your child's life to emphasize the positive aspects of school. So new friends, a caring teacher, and opportunities to learn, grow, and have fun. Find out the teacher ECE's names and use them when discussing their school activities. And you will know those names before school year starts for sure. Discover the route your child will travel to and from school and obtain information on walking distances. You may want to partake in some dress rehearsals that will build your child's confidence and help establish safety conscious routines. Making sure the child walking to school is accompanied by an adult. Children on buses are met on arrival at and departure from school by the teacher or a school supervisor. Usually it's either Miss St. Jules or myself. We're always out there welcoming the buses in the morning. But children must be met by an adult when they are dropped off following their day at school. The bus driver will not allow a child off the bus without a parent being there. So you can also visit the school and use the playgrounds and things like that over the summer. Developing opportunities for your child's exposure to music, rhythm, and rhyming activities, which will help the development of reading skills. Accustom your child to consistent routines, such as getting up at a certain time, getting dressed, and so forth. Helping your child to develop fine motor skills. So fine motor skills are those skills involving the small muscles of the body, include such activities such as drawing, cutting, gluing, and as well as handling Play-Doh, building towers of blocks, stringing large beads on a string, catching a beanbag or a large ball. It could be opening and closing their lunch kits. It could be zippers. It could be buttons, all those wonderful things. You could also discuss personal safety, such as busing and strangers. Be sure children know their name, address, and telephone number. And you can obviously review the calendar with your child. Circle the day on which your child starts school. You may also wish to mark gym and library days, class trips, birthdays, and special occasions. It's always important to label all your child's belongings in an inconspicuous place. Things such as your indoor shoes, outdoor clothing, boots, snack containers, drink containers, and backpacks. As you can well imagine, with 25, 26 kids in a classroom, some days it could look like a bit of a mess. So trying to gather everything up would be wonderful. Preparing your child for successful experiences. So providing opportunities at home with situations that challenge your child to manage alone when toileting, dressing, tidying, and eating. These self-regulation skills help your child feel good about themselves and help them realize they can solve their own problems and be supported while doing so. A few other great ideas that could certainly help for your start to the school. Dental health, so making sure that they get a dental checkup. Immunization, visual health. A lot of people seem to forget about getting their eyes checked before starting school. Communication, emotional, cognitive, sleep, making sure that they're getting enough sleep, nutrition and physical activity, dressing and toileting, and things of that nature. All right, so program options. We talked a little bit about this. So as you are aware now, the kindergarten program is a 50-50 program. But once your child is done kindergarten, you will be met with a few options that you can pick. So if you choose the English program, that means your child will be in the English program with core French, and that goes from grades 1 to 8. You've got the early French immersion program. You've got the middle French immersion program, which is not offered at our school. It is, we share that program over at Barrhaven Public School as of currently. And the alternative programs which aren't offered here. But please know all the above programs are parental decisions. So making the program choice is your choice. It's a personal choice. All are welcome. DELF, which is a French proficiency test, results have shown there is no difference in the final outcomes in grade 12 for students enrolled in EFI versus MFI, and EFI is early French immersion versus the middle French immersion, and there is support available in all programs. The English program allows students to concentrate on English language skills. The program is available from grades 1 to graduation. The program is child-centered and stresses proficiency in all subject areas. In this program, English is the language of instruction for all subjects other than French, which is 200 minutes per week, 40 minutes per day. A student who successfully completes the English program is expected to have a functional knowledge of the French language. The Early French Immersion program is a bilingual program wherein students learn within the expectations of the kindergarten program 2016 and interacts with the French-speaking educators half of the time and English-speaking educators half of the time. The Early French Immersion EFI program provides students with the opportunity to become functionally bilingual through early exposure to French. This program does begin in grade 1. In this program, French is the language of instruction in all subjects other than math in grade 1, and mathematics and English language arts from grades 2 to 8. In grade 1, math is the only subject taught in English. Students who successfully complete the EFI program and later enroll in the secondary level program, which meets the requirements to obtain the OCDSB Extended French or French Immersion Certificate, are expected to be able to communicate with ease and feel comfortable in either language community, English or French, and also accept employment, training, or further education in either language. Middle French immersion, which I had mentioned, is not offered at our school, where you'll have the opportunity in grade 3 to move to the Barrhaven public school, where transportation is provided. And this Middle French immersion program provides students with the opportunity to obtain a solid foundation in English language skills in the primary grades before starting intensive study of French. A student who successfully completes the MFI program and later enrolls in a secondary level program, which meets the requirements to obtain the OCDSB Extended French or French Immersion Certificate, is expected to be able to communicate with ease and feel comfortable in either language, community, English or French, and also accept employment, training, or further education in either language. The entry point, though, as mentioned, for MFI is grade 4. So the DELF, the entry point, 2018, 2019, 88% of eligible students who participated in the grade 12 French proficiency test with a 96% success rate across test levels, which was more than half the challenge, the highest level of French proficiency. Alternative program. So the English instruction, let me just jump to that slide here. There are 4 elementary sites. So Regina, Lady Evelyn, Riverview, and Churchill. There is 1 intermediate site, which is Summit Alternative. Alternative schools receive the same central supports as all schools, such as professional support, staff, learning support services, etc. While the following characteristics are found in many of the programs at the elementary level across the district, collectively they form the foundation of the alternative education philosophy. The Family Reception Center is an important center. If you are new to Canada and you have a school-aged child and English is not your first language, the OCDSB's Family Reception Center can assist you with enrolling your child in school. The center's staff will provide student assessment and guidance for English language learners and their families, and you can connect newcomer families with a multicultural liaison officer if needed. And if you are looking for this type of assistance, you could call 613-239-2416, and they would be more than happy to help. So registration is now open for a kindergarten program. You can register at any time, but if you register early, it would certainly help us out by getting our staffing set for the upcoming year. You could visit ocdsb.ca/kindergarten to learn more about our program and a link to online registration. So thank you for joining us tonight. We hope that you will choose to become part of our Mary Honeywell Elementary School community. We have a few of you. I'm going to stop sharing my screen here. Exit. We've got a few questions that were asked, and I'll go through them really quick. One of the questions was, do the kindergarten students nap? They really don't nap anymore. It's more of a quiet time. We realize that many of our 4-year-olds are still struggling with full days, and they are still coming off of nap time for many of them, but they don't nap. We really just provide a quiet area for them. Will parents have the opportunity to go inside the school to see where our child will be learning and seeing the layout? We really hope so. It all depends on where this pandemic actually leads us. What we always do is we always, like I said, have the information evening in the spring, but at the same time too, when you have an intake come September with your child's teacher, you're able to explore the room a little bit as well. So on the first day of school, students will be able to go inside and check everything out, and you'll be having that one-on-one conversation with the classroom teacher, and you can check out their cubby area and be with your child at that time. Another question was, is there anything my child needs to know going into kindergarten? What does a typical day at school look like? And what is the expectation in regards to bathroom by themselves and things like that? Wonderful questions. We will be able to answer most of those in our spring information evening. So please keep that in mind when planning. Next question, will children who are currently in Barrhaven Child Care Center be kept in the same kindergarten class since they have been bubbled together this past year? We don't know yet. It's too early to tell. We don't know where we're going to be with that pandemic. And it is true that kids who went to the Barrhaven Child Care Center were together. Generally speaking, in year 2, they end up having the same teacher and everything. So chances are that they will be together again this year. And I think that was all of the questions that we had received from you. But please know that we are always available to answer questions at the school. We have both Denise and myself, as well as our office administrator, are here during regular school hours from 8 till 3:30. We'd be more than happy to answer any of your questions. And if you have any, please don't hesitate. You could either email or you could give us a call. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We look forward to serving your child and serving your family. And I apologize for some of the technical difficulties. Like I said, I've never live streamed before, and I pray that I never have to do it again. Thank you so much, folks. Have a wonderful evening.